Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Hollywood Kind on America's Live. I'm looking very forward to talking to my next guest. She is a four-time Emmy-nominated host of ABC's The Wildlife Doc. She's also a comedian, an actress, a writer, and a wildlife conservationist. Rachel Reenstra, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Great to have you on the show. Okay, so I discovered you through a friend of a friend on social media, and I know that you have been speaking out about a lot of issues. You have a lot of videos out there, and a lot of times these are topics that mainstream media especially doesn't want to talk about. So tell us a little bit about your genesis. You started out in Hollywood, your career in Hollywood, to what you do now.
Well, that's a lot. I moved out here. I'm in Los Angeles most of the time, and I moved out about 26 years ago to get into comedy, and I also love animals, and so it's been an amazing ride. But what I found is once I started making videos that brought out the truth about certain things, like the chemicals in the air that we're breathing, all of a sudden it wasn't as easy to get work anymore. But what's exciting to me is all the people that are waking up right now. It's incredible. I mean, people that are realizing we're here to live a healthy, wonderful life and not be sprayed. But if anyone speaks out about it, like the doctor I was telling you about in the chemtrail video, he's not for vaccinations. He is for your health and your immunity. And I honestly think that that's what we need to be focusing on. But when someone asks that, like any doctor, like Judy Makovitz and Dr. Buddha, Dr. Shiva, they all somehow get silenced. So it's a quandary. And you, being a newscaster, have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, very, very recently, I partnered with an organization on a campaign relating to coronavirus, and our videos just keep getting taken down. So unfortunately, if you offer a counteractive, social media and mainstream media, they don't seem to appreciate that. But speaking of that, let's talk about this pandemic, this global pandemic. What's your take on what's happening right now?
It's not going to be popular. And people might call it a conspiracy theorist, but CIA made that word up back when people were questioning authority when JFK was assassinated. And what I feel is happening is the numbers don't add up. Something just doesn't feel right about everything that they're telling us in mainstream, you know? So I'm not going to say there's not a virus, but I will say that there's an agenda behind the virus that I think is being pushed, which is forced vaccinations, contact tracing. I mean, it's an Orwellian society we're living in now, it feels like. And people know it. They can feel it. And we might not agree on politics, but what we can agree is that something isn't right. Like, everyone in the world realized that Jeffrey Epstein did not suicide himself. We all know that. We all feel that something is not right about this virus. What's going on? What's the truth behind it? And for us to get to the truth nowadays is really difficult because people have been looking to the media for the truth. And trust me, I've been in the media. I've been on television. There's been many things on television that people used to believe. Gilligan's Island, there were actually people stranded on an island. That's how powerful television is. So I think that this is a cover-up for something bigger.
So let's go down the road of forced vaccinations. So if coronavirus is an opportunity for whether federal authorities, state authorities, whoever, to enforce forced vaccinations, to what end? How does that benefit? You know, is there something in the vaccines that we're concerned about? Obviously, the contact tracing scares the bejesus out of me because I don't need the government following me any more than they already do. But with respect to vaccines, how does that benefit, let's say it, Orwellian political leaders to force these vaccinations in a mass capacity?
I would just tell everybody to sorry, I'm just getting a call. I would tell everybody to please do your research, okay? Because I'm not going to tell you something. What do I know? You know, I'm a comedian. I'm a wildlife conservationist. I'm an actress. But what I see from the research I've done are patents that are labeled, funded by Bill Gates and Microsoft, labeled 060606. I mean, ID 2020, you look it up, and it's literally, it's going to be a cashless society. We're going to have a quantum dot tattoo, which is basically, some people might call it the mark of the beast. But if they don't want conspiracy theorists out there saying that, how about not label a patent 666? Just a thought. Just a thought. But do your own research on that. People need to be asking questions right now. And the whole vaccine thing, it's not that I'm against vaccines. I've traveled the world. I've had to take some vaccines before I went to Africa. But it's not the same vaccine. Sometimes it takes them years to find the right. And every year, there's a different strain of the flu. Why are they pushing vaccines so much like that? We got to get a vaccine for this. When the numbers are the same for people who die of the flu, and we still have a choice about that. So I think if they take away our freedom of choice, then, they're already trying to take away our freedom of speech. And George Orwell even said, liberty means nothing if we can't tell people what they don't want to hear. And so everyone just needs, it doesn't take a lot of research to look this stuff up, guys. It really doesn't. And if more people can speak out and not be afraid of the almighty dollar and not be afraid of losing their job, then we might be able to stand up against this.
So we just got about a minute left, so I want to focus in on your wildlife conservation. What is it that you do in your daily life to that end?
Well, I just got back from Tenerife. I was volunteering for a dog shelter there in the Canary Islands. And I take people on trips to Costa Rica so that people have more education about the ecotourism and also the animals that we're losing on this planet, because it's 65% of all the animals are gone now. So I feel, since I have a platform and I've traveled the world and compared animal and human behavior on Animal Planet Discovery, and I feel like now I want to take it to the next level and bring people with me on an ecotourism trip that they can actually see what's out there for themselves and educate kids about this. Like, it's going to be their future.
Yeah.
So it's really important for me to take people on trips so they have that experience with animals. And there's so many incredible animals to see. And not in a zoo, but we have to start doing something because we're losing them. And education is the first thing. I know it. But I love it. My daily life is, I get to do what I love. I get to travel. I still get to help animals and speak up about wildlife conservation, and also do stand-up.
Yeah.
It's a weird combination.
We should all aspire to do something like that we love so much, and I agree. All right, everybody, head over to her website, RachelReenstra.com. Rachel, it was a pleasure having you on, and we'll talk to you soon. And, my dear, we're going to head it back over to you all, Mike in Denver.
All right, Amanda, thank you for that. And I believe we're going to go to Heather Mullins right now and for a